Welcome to the Cool Instruments for Hep Cats podcast and the world of creating musical sounds, where every note has a story. In this podcast, we delve into the fascinating realm of unusual and intriguing musical instruments. From the depths of history to the cutting edge of innovation, we'll explore the instruments that have, or will, push the boundaries of what we consider music. Join us on a journey of discovery as we uncover the secrets of the world's most fascinating instruments, the people who play them, and the music they create. Now here is your host, Dr. Donald Rickert.
Hello, we're back with Daniela Gaidano, and we took a little break. And you had started to talk about the strings for the Violoncello da Spalla and their availability, their price, etc. So I think you want to say more about that since we were kind of interrupted. Why don't you just continue where you left off?
Yes, thank you. So there are two brands on which I rely on. One, of course, is Aquila, which was my former company. I was a co-owner of Aquila for 15 years. They now make modern strings also for Violoncello da Spalla, which are made with a synthetic core and a round wire, so they feel a bit different under the fingers and under the bow. They are a bit more rough, but they speak well and they have much more colors compared to the Thomastiks. Thomastiks are very good strings. They are exactly what you can expect from a dominant set. But I feel they lack a bit of colors, while with Aquila you really have a wide range of colors. And you have the great advantage that you can buy spare.
Now, when you say colors, what do you mean by that?
I mean not only forte and piano, but also different like shapes, like really you can have a rush sound, a harsh sound, you can have a soft sound, different voices. You can find different voices.
Oh, okay.
And you can buy spare strings, which is a good thing. And of course I rely on Aquila strings also for my pure gut strings. All the instruments I make and play are strung with gut strings because this is what I like most and what I'm used to. But gut strings may feel, if you're not used to them, they may feel a bit big. But I like them because they have many colors. So I always rely on Aquila strings also for pure gut strings. But I use basses made by Eliakim Bousoire. Now, of course, I'm more on an early music setup. So for modern strings, you have Thomastiks and Aquila. I hear that now even Eliakim is offering modern strings, but I didn't try them yet. While for early music strings, you have Aquila or Eliakim.
He is. They're wonderful.
Yeah, and he is a great designer of strings, so you can really write him, tell him which length is your instrument, which kind of sound do you like. So, and he will make bass strings really for you, for your instruments and your taste. And he also made for me the strings I have on the Wagner copy, which are single wound, which is something very interesting. They are very thick, so they have a sound very percussive. But they are interesting because there are some researchers who say that Violoncello da Spalla couldn't exist before the invention of double wound, so one metal and two metals, like all the modern strings are made today. Instead, he could make single wound, gut and one wire, strings that work really well even on a short instrument like the Wagner. So I always rely on him for the basses. here you may ask me the question about the case.
Eliakim makes really good strings, and in fact, I do octave violins and violas tuned like octave violins, which go by many names. One of which is mezzo violin, viola-sized instrument, but in the violin range. And then if it's an octave violin, it's an octave lower. Anyway, he makes wonderful strings for that instrument. Just the low string, the G string, is just about a millimeter at most thick. And if you know anything about octave violins, you need really thick strings when you're going from something that short. Anyway, moving on to, I wanted to ask you about cases, and I know you know a lot about cases.
Well, yes, I prepared on the back there.
Frequently about.
The thing is, I've been a professional musician, so.
Tell me what you know. What do we need to know about cases for violoncellos da Spalla?
Well, I've been a professional musician, so I know that it's very difficult to travel if you don't have a proper case. So, da Spalla is a different size instrument, and it can correspond more or less to a 1/10 or 1 octave cello. So if you find around cases for 1 octave cello, they may fit, but there are also some cases, one case in particular, custom made for a violoncello da Spalla, which is the one that it's on the back over there, the black one. And I worked hard together with Sergei Malov and the company A-Case to make that case happen, which is probably the first professional case light that we can use to fly safely with a violoncello da Spalla. So let me show it. This is very light, it's less than 2 kilos. Just to give you a comparison, my BAM case for violin, it's 3 kilos. So this is less than 2, and it is very compact.
Oh, wow.
It really fits the head locker on the flight, on the plane. And it has these magnetic lockers, which are very, very strong, but also very easy. And they are made safe with this Velcro locker. So if this opens by mistake, you have this Velcro locker that keeps everything closed. You have the space for 2 bows, and you have enough padding to keep everything safe. So this is something I'm particularly proud of, because it's an achievement that the Violoncello da Spalla community finally has a case that we can safely use for traveling. This was my custom design that I had made by them. I love it. I hope you like it too.
Oh, I love it. Was that the right answer?
Yes.
I'm just joking with you.
Then, of course, there are other cases. There is the KIngham case, which I don't have at home here. It's also a professional case, very well padded and made on customly for the Violoncello da Spalla. It has something like 2 months of waiting list. The A case also has 2-3 months of waiting list. These 2 cases are both very expensive.
Now, who was that case maker you
KIngham.
mentioned? After
King,
A-case?
like king, and Ham, like
yes,
Ham.
yes, yes.
KIngham cases is
Yes, I know that case.
very famous for viola da gamba and lute cases, I think. And but that
Right.
case is a wood case, and it is quite bulky, so it's not very comfortable for traveling. And if you are flying, that could be a problem. You probably need to buy an extra seat if you are flying with that. But it's also a very, very good case, very luxury in leather, purple velvet. It's very nice. Both of these cases have a price that is around 1,000 euros. The A case is 1,100 euros, and the KIngham was at 800 pounds, but then you have customs and shippings and everything, so it comes for around the same. And of course you have you can save on this if you are maybe not traveling too much. There is this possibility. This is a case for 1 octave cello. It has a space here. I don't know if you can see it with this pure light. So of course it had the space for the end pin. So all these it's space more and length more that it will take, and so it will not fit the head locker on the airplane. It is a good case, and there is a shop in Canada called the Soundpost who sells them, and it's listed at $300 for below $400. But I don't know exactly, because it is actually not listed on the website. Then you write, it's listed a cheaper version. Then you write for the cheaper version, and they send you the most expensive version, because the cheapest is ended. And it comes from China. It's not always available. And anyway, here in Europe, once I had the shipping and the custom, I had it for 600 euros. Which is quite a lot not to be a custom case. Also because the bows do not fit really well in it. The hairs of the bow always go below the bridge, like below here. And so every time I open the case, the hairs stay here and they break. So when I use this one, I always travel with a bow case on the side. Yes, it becomes a bit too much. You often forget the bow case around. But this
is extremely helpful. Yes.
This is 100 euros from Thomann. I don't know in US, but I'm sure you can have it quite cheap also in US. The GEWA one is absolutely perfect for this instrument. It's not excessively big. Always GEWA 1 octave size. And it is well padded. It's, I think, more than 1 centimeter. And it is 100 euros. So it's okay if you are not traveling like in the underground where the people get packed, you start to get worried about the bridge, and that's not really, yes. But if you are traveling on your own with the car in an easy way, that's a good solution. And I also use my bow case with it, even if you could also put just the bow in here, even because this bow case is 100 euros as well, so it's like the other one. But this is also a very good solution if you just have to save money for this instrument. So that's it. That's more or less what I found about useful accessories, which is.
Well, I think that might be a wrap. In other words, I think we might be done for now.
Yeah. I think that having good accessories is fundamental, because professional musicians often get enthusiastic about a new instrument because this is their life, making music and new music. But then having all these little problems like I don't have the case, I don't have the strings, I don't have the bows, can stop them from trying. While we have all the good things to put together with the instrument, so it's definitely an instrument worth trying, not only to play back.
Yeah, the cases, I mean, the prices sound high, I guess, to the average person, but that's actually a bargain for a custom fit case. My shop, we made a few handmade leather cases. And since then, I've taken a solemn oath never to make another case again, because you just can't charge enough money to recoup your time on hand sewing a leather case. And leather, you would think leather would be lighter. Well, if you make the thick leather you need to make a leather case is quite heavy. In fact, a completed case for a violoncello da Spalla is 14 pounds. See, I don't know. It's a lot. It's at least 10 kilos. Super heavy.
Yes. As well, the KIngham case, it's wood and leather, and I think it's 8 kilos, the whole case. So, Don, thank you so much for having me in your podcast. I'm sorry it took a bit long because of connecting issue, but it was great really being a part of this new fantastic series that you are making. And I hope more people will try this Violoncello da Spalla soon, because it's really a great experience for viola player to have this, big sounding thing against your chest and just having it resonating. You feel your whole body resonating, and it's beautiful. I hope more people will get involved, and thank you again for having me here.
Cool Instruments for Hep Cats is brought to you by Don Rickert Musical Instruments, designers and makers of bespoke stringed instruments. All music clips were either recorded in the making of the podcast and played by the guest or guests, who have granted permission to use the clips, or otherwise, used with permission or in accordance with fair use regulations. The music for the intro and outro sequences is performed by the group Attire on jaw harp and djembe and is used with written permission.